Arcadia National Bar Podcast. Don't you dare be sour and feel the power of your two-time tag team champions of your heart, the New Day.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
That's right, the New Day. 3 magnificent, powerful, positive, bootyful unicorns here to rescue you and I and the rest of the WWE universe and raise us to a new level. This isn't New Japan Pro. This is not IWGP. This is certainly not TNA. This is the New Day.
What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Arcadia National Podcast, down in the basement of Arcadia National Bar. We are here with episode 10, in which we are going to talk about our favorite wrestlers.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start it off with Sarah.
All right, so I have been watching wrestling for just over a year now. Found myself real sleepy at the bar one night, watching, I believe it was tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs.
And TLC 2014. Let's go. 15.
I mean,
15,
I don't
14,
I don't even
1,000.
know what I was watching at that point and how I was still staying awake, but I loved every minute of it, and I think because of that, some of my favorite wrestlers are the scrappy ones who just keep fighting. Like, shout out to Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler. I love you guys, but the nerd in me also loves the New Day.
Yeah.
They're the best. The New Day,
Day
rocks.
New Day rocks.
New Day rocks. That's a great choice.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. It's really hard to pick a favorite. Sometimes I love one person more than the other. Sometimes I just like who is doing something cool at the time.
Sounds like a polyamorous relationship.
Nice.
Yeah, just like, you
$5
know,
word.
Dean Ambrose
Yup.
and maybe Seth Rollins in there a little bit. Yeah.
Ooh, maybe
It's-
Seth Rollins.
Maybe. Internet, let me know.
Secret love.
All right, JLo, what do you got?
So when I was first watching wrestling, I got really into wrestling during the WCW era.
Yep.
Because one of my cousins was incredibly into wrestling, like just really into it, and it wound up lining up pretty perfectly that every time a wrestling pay-per-view would be happening, a boxing pay-per-view would also be happening. So we'd go to his house. He and I and any other cousins who were around would be watching the WCW pay-per-view in one room, while the dads would be watching the boxing pay-per-view in the other room. And that's when I started watching. Man, it was really cool.
Awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So that's when I started watching, and I've like a lot of people have had a big resurgence in recent years because we all know that it's scripted, so we can sort of like slough that off and enjoy that it's just shut up, Mark. So we can enjoy that it's scripted but highly athletic and just super fun. But I would say that my favorite wrestler going back was Sting. I was a huge fan of Sting. And this was black and white Sting era, not
Ultimate Warrior ripoff.
Ultimate Warrior ripoff Sting, and just like the idea of his presence and the Stinger Splash and the Scorpion Deathlock. Even though at one point I realized it was very similar to the Sharpshooter, and I was like, wait a minute, what, does that work? And the Scorpion Death Drop was very similar to just a regular DDT. I realized this looking back, but Sting, as far as presence and just storyline, I was really big into Sting. Not so much now. Currently, AJ Styles.
Oh yeah.
As far as active wrestlers, but Sting, old school. Yeah.
Good answer. Mark, what do you got for us?
So for me, I used to be a wrestling fan, huge. Back WWF, WCW days, my dad and I would watch a ton. We actually went to, I think they came to the Civic Center
Yes, they did.
way long
Yeah.
time ago, and we
Were you there, Amy?
I hope you were there because I was there and I don't know.
Oh my God.
Like, it was a long time ago.
Did
but
you see Goldust?
Yes.
Because, oh
Yes.
my God, I was at that.
we were there. We watched that and like long time ago. But like that's when I was super into wrestling. Kind of fell out for other sports, sewing out. But like fondest moment of wrestling for me is Stone Cold. Going down the ramp in WWE, I believe it was. It might have been
Attitude
WWF.
Era.
Yeah. And he slid down the entire ramp with 2 beers in his hand, crashed
he
at the
did.
very end of it, and then poured 2 beers over his entire body. No doubt I will never forget that. New Age wrestling, I would go with Kevin Owens. We had a Royal Rumble event here, and everyone picked a number, got that number that came out as your wrestler for Royal Rumble, and I said that my new Halloween costume and favorite wrestler would be my number, Kevin Owens. Shout out.
Yes.
Heck yes, and that is
Good answer.
And immediately, as soon as you told me who came out, I said that is a great wrestler
You
to have
actually
as your
picked me up.
favorite.
Yeah, you were just like, congratulations.
No, this is such a great favorite. And then again, like just an hour ago,
So did everyone else. Said the same thing.
an hour ago when you told Amy that who you had.
Yeah. Yes. I was
Yeah.
like, that is what you could tell
That's
that
good.
to any
That's
wrestling
good.
fan, and they'd be like, all right, that's fair.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is great.
If you said R-Truth, it'd be like, well,
are you?
he's nice.
Yeah, he's very nice and
a
a
sweet
hell of a
guy.
rapper.
So, my favorite wrestler, I have thought long and hard about this, and I think it changes seasonally, but right now, I'm all about Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace. I was also a big wrestling fan as a kid, and I remember watching WCW and watching Eddie Guerrero fight Rey Mysterio. Oh my God, they had some of the best matches I've ever seen in my life. Both serious and humorous. They had a match once where they fought for custody of a child via a ladder match.
That's dark but
That was
beautiful.
the weirdest fucking thing
That
I've ever
was
seen.
the weirdest shit. So, so I won't go into that. You can look it up on YouTube.
Daily
I'm
Motion.
gonna.
But
Daily
Eddie
Motion.
Guerrero, best. So I lie, I cheat, I steal. I mean, I love a good heel, and for me, he's a great heel. So he's had some great matches. Yeah.
Yeah, can I get something just came to my head actually. So when also in this time when I was younger, I stood in line at a car dealership in Boston for over 2 hours to get signatures from the Hardy Boys. And I
Oh
still
my God.
and I still have that hat to this day.
And you are
Good.
wearing it right now, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's really it
What
fits
a
perfectly
crazy
right
random
now.
happenstance.
How I had no idea we were doing this.
You look great.
That's awesome.
So we are going to bring it over to some of our listener submissions. We got so many amazing submissions this week.
and we're so excited.
We are really excited.
It's about time for
Who are
Alright.
we listening to first?
So the first one we're gonna go with is Rob Foley.
A loyal contributor to our.
I wonder
Focus
where he
in.
recorded
Alright.
this.
Rip Roadshow.
Rip Road Show.
Brojo.
So go and listen to this submission from Rob Foley.
Hi, this is Rob Foley, and I'm calling in from the Noodle Man bathroom at Arcadia National Bar. And my favorite wrestler
bathroom.
is Sami Zayn. Initially, just because I was told I sort of looked like him, but I also like his sort of story of coming up from NXT and getting betrayed by his best friend Kevin Owens, who's an asshole, and can't wait to see him kick Kevin's ass at WrestleMania.
Yes!
This makes sense
Well
why
then.
when I
Wow.
walked in Foley and when I looked at Foley and said, "Yeah, my favorite wrestler is Kevin Owens," he looked at me and wanted to spit towards me. So that
That is not something that I would expect from Rob Foley. He is a gentle creature normally.
However, he is also a very big Sami Zayn fan. And Sami Zayn and
Totally.
Kevin Owens go way the fuck back.
Oh man. So who we got next?
Next we have looks like we have Pat calling in, and we'll listen to his submission.
This is the man I'm married to, by the way.
Patrick Gill, yeah, lucky you.
Hey guys, this is Patrick. I'm calling in from the bathroom at Arby's to tell you about my favorite wrestler, who is Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
He's my favorite wrestler for a lot of reasons. I think the first one is just this: he seems so authentic. He doesn't seem like there's a lot of guys who are really good talkers, really eloquent, but a lot of times they really seem like they're sort of putting on an act. And Daniel Bryan always just kind of seemed like he was just doing Daniel Bryan in some form or another. He's got really cool moves. I really liked the running knee and all the submission stuff that he would do. His kicks looked really awesome. And I liked that he was able to transition from sort of like the comedy stuff, like he did with Team Hell No, into the main event picture. And it was just really fun to be a part of the movement of people who were really pushing for Daniel Bryan to get the moment that he eventually got at WrestleMania, and it was really satisfying to see that happen. So yeah, Daniel Bryan is my favorite wrestler. It's weird. There's like a crack in the wall in here next to the toilet, and I think I can see through there. They said my curly fries were going to be a couple minutes, so I'll probably check it out. Anyways, see you guys at the bar. Bye.
That's amazing. Also, I'm pretty sure that the real reason his favorite wrestler is Daniel Bryan is because he's in love with J-Lo, and J-Lo kind of looks a little bit like Daniel Bryan.
I do. I actually got a call out
sorry,
at PAX
Amy.
South, which was pretty great. So next looks like we have Scott Leland.
Hello, National Podcast. This is Scott Leland calling you guys from C2E2 over here in wonderful Chicago. So, question this week is, what's your favorite wrestler? I gotta say, my favorite wrestler of all time is probably Edge. The funny thing is, if you were to ask me my favorite, like my top 5 favorite matches or so, he probably wouldn't be on there. Just because there's other matches I like that he's not in. But as far as the total package goes, there's not a lot of guys better. He's a great promo guy, had a great tag career, had a great singles career. He's just overall one of my favorite wrestlers. He's really consistent, and he was a great champion for a lot of years. So that's my answer. Enjoy. Thanks.
Good answer.
I have this very distinct
Short and
memory
sweet.
of Edge and Christian because one of my cousins growing up looked exactly like them at the time, like same hair, same weird little dumb beard, and I was like, whoa, I don't know Mike was wrestling, but it wasn't.
What
Edge
era?
and Christian.
What era is Edge from to be the wrestling noob?
Around the Stone Cold, like he was
yeah.
mid attitude,
Edge
like
and Christian.
Okay.
We're a big tag team.
Yeah.
They fought the Hardy Boys, who I believe
They have a TV show?
Yes.
Right
Oh,
now?
of course.
Right?
Yeah,
They
they're
have a
on
TV
the
show now.
network right now.
Yeah.
Doing
Cool.
some weird comedy show.
Yeah.
About
That got
wrestling
like
or
super shut down
I
by
mean, it's on the
forced?
network.
Yeah. Okay.
it got shut down recently. They were doing their like little thing in the middle of the ring. No, I don't know.
Oh no, that was them interrupting the Miz.
The Miz, yeah.
Oh,
so they
God,
like
yeah.
crashed the Miz's show.
That was that pay-per-view that we watched that one time.
That was like okay.
What's
not.
next? Who do we
Coming
have
up next, we have
J-Lo?
looks like we have Pat again.
What?
Cool.
You can't
yeah,
have
looks
two
like,
favorites.
I mean, I guess he called in.
He changed his mind. It's
That's what
fine.
happens when you're at
Okay.
an Arby's, I guess.
Hey guys, this is Pat. I'm calling from the room where they keep the beef in Arby's. It's that crack in the wall. It led through to the room where they keep the beef, I guess. And it's really big in here, actually. The beef is all, it's like hanging from hooks all over the ceiling, and it's like I said, it's a lot, kind of just keeps going on and on. But the smell is pretty overwhelming, and every minute or so this kid
Oh my
comes in
God.
here and he'll like carve a bit of the meat off onto a sandwich. But he hasn't noticed me yet, so anyways, I'm calling back because I forgot that I should probably talk about people who are still on the roster as well, because Daniel Bryan is retired, unfortunately. So I want to talk about Asuka, who is like my favorite wrestler active right now, just because like everything she does sort of projects ferocity, like her kicks, her submissions and stuff. I wouldn't call her smooth. I would just call her like fiery. And consistently, like everything she does looks right.
Absolutely.
And she's sort of built an entire character without really having to talk. She'll just, give that smirk or that smile, and you'll know that it's fucking on. So I just want to talk about Asuka. Anyways, so I just noticed that there's this huge trap door, it's like 10 feet across in here.
In the basement?
It's kind of like more of a vault door.
The meat locker.
Maybe. But it's not closed all the way, so I don't know. Maybe I'll go take a look inside. Anyways, see you guys at the thing.
Okay, thank you,
Okay, that's
Pat.
great.
I will see you at home, I hope. I agree.
Hopefully.
Asuka, current NXT diva, she's really, really fucking good.
It looks I hope Pat's gonna be okay.
Oh, I'm sure he's
coming
fine.
up next, we have one from Gabriel.
Hi, Arcadia. This is Gabriel. My favorite wrestler, the one who owns the championship belt in my heart, is none other than Seth Rollins.
Oh.
I know, it's an absolute shocker, but ever since I laid eyes on him and watched him win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with the help of Jon Stewart, I just haven't been the same. I just haven't been the same person, like at all. He's just got such a strong jaw, with strong hands, and he flip-flops a lot, and he's great, and I love him. And I heard he just broke up with his girlfriend, so...
He's single.
Shout out.
Shout out to the internet and Seth
confirm or deny
Rollins sending things to people on the internet, and you know what's up with that.
Good answer, Gabriel.
Yeah, thank you, Gabriel.
We know your secret.
Yeah. Well, that is no surprise to anyone who knows Gabriel.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Next up, we have a call from Jake Cody.
Hi, Acadia National Podcast. It's Jake Cody here. My favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels, but I feel like that's cheating. So my favorite
'cause he's
current roster wrestlers would have to be Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. Even though Seth's injured, he's still my favorite.
Good answer.
So yeah, those are my favorite wrestlers. Bye, guys.
So I'm seeing a trend.
Thank you, Jake.
Yeah. Oh,
The
yeah.
trend has begun.
So that means that now we need to have a Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that
Everybody listening, tweet right now.
yeah,
do it.
like Twitter voting. I think we can post that on the podcast
Yeah,
on the
poll or
podcast
something.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. Looks like coming up next we have Pat again.
Hey, this is Pat calling from the tunnel under the Topsom's Arby's.
Topsom.
I have been walking for a few minutes. It's really dark, and I think I'm going down a slope. There were fluorescent lights
Oh no.
until like 100 yards ago, but it's mostly candles now, which is fucking weird.
That's kinda
Anyways,
weird.
I realized I totally left off non-WWE talents, and the indies are huge right now. Best they've ever been, maybe. And I wanted to talk about Chris Hero because he's my favorite dude on the indies, especially since he got back from NXT. There's this tendency, I think, on the indies for guys to think that they need to like have 100 moves, and they all need to be really flashy and cool. But Chris Hero seems to really sort of get that it's really more about how you put this stuff together than, the amount of stuff you do. So he's, mostly knees and, kicks and elbow strikes and a couple of pile drivers, but he always manages to have really, really satisfying matches. And he does a senton, which I think is my favorite move in general when a big guy does a senton.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
does one
so Chris Hero, check him out if you can. Anyways, it's getting really fucking hot in this tunnel, and that the beef smell from before is just getting stronger. And then there's this low buzzing. I don't know if it's coming through on the recording. It's like pulsing. It's coming from above me or below, or I don't know. Anyways, Chris Hero, guys, check him out. Bye.
I'm gonna text him, but Chris Hero is really good. I've seen him
He
live
is, yeah.
in person.
Like he was just saying about them having a lot of indies having a ton of moves. If you just execute well, you don't need a ton of moves. You can just look good in the ring doing a simple
with a
move
handful
set,
of them.
move
I've seen that man do
structure.
a backflip, and he is a large man.
Yeah, it's great. as a semi-large man myself, it's doing a backflip is pretty fun.
So who's next?
Looks like we have Jeff Z coming up next.
Ooh.
Hey, my name's Jeff, and my favorite wrestler is Andy Kaufman because he always wrestled the women. Thank you. It's good. Thanks. Thanks for having me on your show. Bye.
Aw, thank
You're welcome,
you,
Jeff. What a
You're so
great
sweet.
answer.
Jeff, you're amazing.
Andy Kaufman is in the top of my list for a number of favorite things, and wrestler is not necessarily one of them, but I think Andy Kaufman's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, but you can understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this is getting weird. I think we have Pat again.
Oh no.
Is that
I hope the candles haven't went out.
I'm
there's
really
no
concerned.
there's no reason for us to not just keep going. So here's Pat again. Amy, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Hey y'all, this is Pat. I'm just calling from the mansion that was at the end of the tunnel under the
I'm so
top.
glad you're okay.
It's a really fucking fancy mansion. It's like I don't know if you guys have seen like Clue or whatever, but it's kind of like that one. But like the windows are stained glass, and there's some sort of light on the other side, and it's probably not natural light because, like, I'm guessing I'm like 100 feet underground right now. So I'm just hanging out at this mansion for a second, and a guy in a mask gave me a milkshake.
Yum.
Yeah, like there are people here, and nobody has said anything to me yet, so they seem pretty chill. I wore a red shirt today, so I think maybe like they think I work here or something. But yeah, they all wore masks except for the guy in the cloak who isn't wearing a mask. Like, he's not wearing a mask, but I can't see his face. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and it's just kind of a blurry area.
Is it John Cena?
Anyways, I forgot to mention Kenny Omega, because, like, he mostly works in Japan.
I'm glad you can keep focused.
He's this Canadian dude. I think the first time I ever saw him wrestling in a match, it was against a 9-year-old girl called Haruka. And it was really hilarious. He was, a very big, credible, strong-looking dude, but this match pretty much proved that, he's willing to commit to a bit. He's also had a fantastic match or two with this blow-up doll called Yoshihiko in the promotion DDT. It's hilarious.
Weird.
And it's better than some
Reddit,
actual matches I've seen.
He's got the best entrance
he's
music.
fantastic because he blends this really. He's a sort of wacky, off-the-wall, doesn't take himself too seriously, persona, but like physically and what he can do in the ring is unbelievable. Like he's a jacked up, cool dude. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about Kenny Omega working over there in Japan. Okay, so the guy with no mask and no face just came over and gave me another milkshake. So that's cool. I guess I'm not going to say no to a free milkshake. Catch you guys at the bar. Bye.
These are pre-recorded, and that's kind of weird.
I'm a little worried that he hasn't answered any of my texts in a little while. I thought he was still at work, but I don't
My
know.
biggest concern is the flavor of the milkshake that he could be having right now. He'd
Probably strawberry.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking maybe it's drugs. It's flavored like drugs.
It's drugs.
I'm actually a little
now.
bit worried, so I think we should. I want to finish this
Let's just
episode up
keep
and just keep
going.
going. So next we have Celia calling in.
Let's see who wears the championship belt in Celia's heart. I would have to say Dean Ambrose. Not just because he is a nice-looking gentleman, but because every time I see him on screen, I just get excited because he's doing things that other wrestlers aren't doing, and that's putting himself through tables and throwing himself at other, just everything about him is genuine, and I really, really, really enjoy seeing him wrestle.
See, I agree with you. Like I said earlier, he's scrappy. For example, in our most recent pay-per-view experience of some kind of amusement.
Yeah, of
I
all the
don't
ones
know.
that were in March, it was the one.
Yes, it
like
was.
I said in our previous podcast, he let himself get beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a star of a match with two other folks
Until
in it.
he
I don't
worked,
remember who they
he
were.
worked. He worked real hard to tire out Brock Lesnar.
Laser.
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Buck Razor.
Yes. And like he was just like, I'm just gonna get thrown around for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna fight back like you've never seen before. And then
Against, what was it?
WWE
Roman Reigns?
did a thing and they did something real wrong, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Real wrong.
Good choice.
Chicken
It was
Roman
like
Reigns?
it was
I
some
hope-
it was some sloppy noodle stuff. That's all I gotta say.
But Dean Ambrose, good choice.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love it.
that.
Thank you, Celia.
So we keep getting more, like even as this episode is being recorded, and we have Pat again.
Oh, what?
Again.
Where
yeah.
are you, Pat?
We'll find out.
The
Really
mansion.
worried.
Yo guys, what's up? It's Pat calling from the Bone Cathedral in the
God.
underground mansion below the Topsom Arby's. I've had like 20 milkshakes now, and this is
stop.
fucking weird.
He's
but
drugged.
That's too many.
I must have gained like 800 pounds, and I'm still growing. All my bones
no.
hurt, and my teeth fell out.
No.
Some of the mask people put me on a big skid and took me down to this badass bone cathedral. It's like the inside of like an old Catholic church or something, but literally everything is made of bones.
not good.
I totally spaced on dead wrestlers. So I got to talk about Owen Hart. It's a shame that he's not with us anymore.
Owen
He's
Hart.
such an amazing talent. And I think he's kind of like, in our memories, a lot of times he's sort of overshadowed by Bret Hart. But I think, I personally think he was a better wrestler in the ring. He was better at being this sort of snotty, self-aware bad guy. And he had this one thing that he did that I can't get over how much I loved it, even though it was so little. But he'd like shoot for a double leg takedown. He'd pull a guy's legs out from under him, and then he would jump through the guy's legs and hit him with an elbow drop. And it was, I guess it's not really a practical move, but just like the athleticism and the precision of it always struck me. So yeah, I always love going back and watching old Owen Hart stuff.
Yeah.
He was a good good guy. Okay, so get this. They've suspended me right now from the ceiling on a bunch of cables, and all of the masked Arby's people are here, and they're praying in Latin, I think. The no-face Arby's boss is here, too. And he... Well, I was kind of scared of him at first, but I've had a bunch of milkshakes now, and the milkshakes are really making me less scared, you know? Like, the milkshakes are kind of, like, preparing me for the truth.
Stop.
And the faceless king of Arby's is coming towards me with what looks like an ancient ceremonial sword. But the milkshakes are making it all okay. This is the truth, and the milkshakes are making it okay. He's carving big chunks out of me.
What?
And the masked men are carrying them away, and it smells so familiar. This is the truth.
Like directly, we want.
Oh no!
Stop sending us recordings.
Jesus. Okay, well, this is taking a turn, and
I'm gonna rate that 7 out of 10 Arby's.
This is 3 out of 5 Spoopies.
This is a negative 5 Arby's. This is a bad Arby's. Don't go to this Arby's.
There's another one.
From Pat?
No.
There's another one, yeah.
Oh,
He said another recording. We told him to call.
There's
What
another.
does it say?
There's another one.
This is the truth of the beef. 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 This is
Taylor, stop it.
I'm sorry.
Amy-
This recording is 2 hours long. This is a 2-hour-long recording. I don't know how this happened.
Amy, I think you need a new husband.
I think I need to call my house right now.
Call
He's
every
not
phone
at
you
the
have.
house. He is in the Arby's Bone Mansion, hung.
I mean, he hasn't answered his phone in 3 hours.
The
So-
That
Bone
recording
Cathedral.
is still I muted it. It's still going. This is.
I know. I can see the length of this recording is 2 hours and 45 minutes long. So,
Oh man.
I think we should.
And on a positive note,
I guess so.
I mean,
do we have any more
wrestling's
call-ins?
great.
We have
No.
like
The
here's
phone is
weird
ringing
thing about
right
this
now.
phone. This phone is actually ringing right now.
What the fuck?
I don't know. It looks like the number is.
We're not.
I can't even read it. This number is 84. I should read this out loud. I'm sorry. But it's a live call-in, and
Okay, let's answer
I guess
it.
we might as well listen to it.
Okay.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. I want to say my favorite wrestler is Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yes.
Bam, 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 bam. Can you
Bam,
tell us-
bam.
yeah, but what's your reason? Like he's amazing, but he's he's a great character.
Oh, you know what? I 100% changed my answer.
Okay.
Please do.
It's
Jack
I
Danger,
completely
switching it
got
up.
him confused with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And for some reason, it was like the piece of the 2x4 that he carried on his shoulder. It, for some reason, reminded me of Bam Bam from Flintstones. Yeah, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It was just I don't know. There's something relatable and like just super redneck about that guy that I just really appreciated, and he just hurt people left and right.
Yes.
That is amazing. That is a great answer. Thank you, Jack.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you, Jack. It's great to hear from you. We're looking forward to you joining us on our full-time regular podcast on Wednesday. I think that maybe you might have been impressioned by playing a little Royal Rumble pinball, but we won't talk about that.
Certainly.
So I think we gotta go because we really need to check on Pat.
Yeah, we certainly do. But before we do, we have our? I guess we should just ask our question for next week.
Yeah, so I've been thinking, because we've got Jack joining us, and we're going to definitely be talking a lot about pinball, that I want to know, when you're playing pinball, what is your feel-good moment? Whether it be just like a really cool move, starting a mode, putting your initials in, hearing that replay sound, you just let me know, because I want to know, because I've got a lot of things that make me feel really good when I'm playing pinball, but I want to know what makes you feel good.
The sweetest live catch.
Yeah. The best table nudge. Yeah, you tell us what machine makes you the happiest. Your feel good pinball moment.
Tell us your favorite pin. Tell us your favorite pin.
Yeah, it's a two-part answer, I think.
Yeah, tell us your favorite pin and what makes you feel good while you're playing it. All right, well, this is Sarah. I'll see you guys Wednesday.
This is Mark from Main Competitive Gaming. I'll catch you next time.
And this is J-Lo. I hope Pat's all right. Good night, everyone.